Hey guys, what's going on? What is up? So, in my last video, I did a haul video and I had my hair down, and I got a few comments about a hair regimen. What is my hair regimen? And I said that I would do a video about it. Well, the honest to God's truth, guys, is I don't really have a hair regimen anymore. I used to, when I first went natural, that first year or so, I was, very strict with the hair regimen. I would wash, condition, pre-poo, detangle. I had all these products I was trying and using, and I was, more strict on a hair regimen. But as time went on, I got lax and doing, washing every week turned into every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. And then after I got pregnant, had my second child, hair regimen, straight up, it went out the window. So I don't really have a hair regimen anymore. And I'm like shooting this in the car. People are walking by like, who's she talking to? But anyway, yeah, the growth that I have retained, I really cannot contribute it to any particular regimen. I can kind of, tell you what I do, but what I do isn't always consistent. So I try to like wash or sometimes I'll wash, sometimes I'll just co-wash. And I try to do it, and I'm so bad, it's gonna sound so horrible, but every 3 weeks, sometimes, guys, when it gets really busy, once a month. And I know that's terrible, but it's true. I'm just gotta keep it real with you all. I've been just horrible when it comes to a hair regimen, especially since the baby's been born. So as you see now, I have it right in this huge high bun right now. It's just in a huge high bun. And so this is kind of one of my staples, a bun, or I'll wash or either co-wash, and I have to pre-poo beforehand. I made a huge mistake about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, because I used to always pre-poo, and then I stopped, but now I have to go back to pre-pooing. Because let me get into hair setbacks real quick. Recent setbacks. When I took those braids out that I had a couple videos ago, I did box braids on my own hair, and I wore those for like a month and a half or so, maybe a little bit longer. And I took those out, and I was experiencing, right after I put those in, or right before I put those in, I guess postpartum shedding had kicked in. So it was a lot of shedding, a lot of shed hair, when I took those out. And when I took the braids out, I made a fatal mistake. I didn't have time to really detangle and properly detangle my hair when I took those braids out, but I had like something going on where I was having people come over to my house, and I didn't want to have like a crazy head of hair. So I was like, well, let me just wash it and condition it and throw it into a puff. Huge mistake. Didn't detangle properly, and wearing that puff turned into, it was supposed to just be for the day, but it turned into wearing that puff for a week without hair being properly detangled. Fatal mistake. So you have a couple things going on. I washed it, didn't properly detangle it, threw it in a puff, left the puff in for a week, plus it was already a lot of shed hair because I had just taken those braids out, plus postpartum shedding. So fast forward that week, when I took those braids out, when I went to actually detangle my hair after that week, it was horrible. My hair was so matted, so locked up, so knotted up. It was just Oh my God. It was to the point where I damn near had dreads. And my hair has never, in the whatever 3 years or so that I've been natural, it's never been that matted. And I was literally almost in tears trying to detangle my hair. It took a whole entire night. I just didn't even go to sleep that night. And it didn't matter how much conditioner I put in, and I just had to get to the point I had to get a little bit rough with my hair in order to, it was either get rough with it or cut it off. So it was either I'm gonna experience some manual breakage because I have to get through the hair, or cut it. It was that bad. There was no other options. I had conditioned the hell out of it, everything. It wasn't working. So it was I was, like I said, I was literally almost in tears because I was gonna either have to cut it or just bust with it for that whole night. So I finally got through it, and I lost like quite a bit of hair. It was like a whole nother head of hair for somebody else's head. Luckily I have a lot of hair, it's thick, and you know, you don't really see the effects of it, but it was terrible. So that was hair setback number 1. And then hair setback number 2 is what I kind of touched on, the postpartum shedding. I think it's kind of subsiding now, and I experience most of it around my edges, and I have my hair pulled back now so that you can kind of see. You couldn't really see it in the last video because it was down, but you can, and it's actually starting to grow back now. So it's not as bad, but you can see around my edges here and here especially is where the postpartum shedding was cray-cray. So it's starting to grow back now, but you can see it's still thin. It's still thin, and it was pretty much almost bald. There was almost no hair there when the postpartum shedding was at its worst. So I just noticed it to start growing back, so that's good. So those are the setbacks that I've experienced. And then back to this regimen business. Since then, I try to make sure I keep it detangled, if nothing else. You know, even if I'm not, you know, taking proper care of it in other areas, I try to make sure it's in a detangled state. Like even now, it's in this puff. I co-washed it last night, and I properly detangled. And you know, just kind of pulled it up into this bun and kind of, you know, wrapped it around so that it doesn't get too tangled up around itself. So pretty much this is what I'll do for the most part. I'll either wash, co-wash every 2 weeks. I try to get it in within 2 weeks now, since I had that bad episode. And put it either in a bun or in maybe like, and that's my son in the background if you're wondering what that noise is. That's him. But yeah, so either, you know, high bun or you know, detangle, like pre-poo, and I definitely have been pre-pooing since that incident. Pre-poo and detangle it, then wash it in twists. Take each twist, maybe like 10 twists. Take each twist out, you know, wash it, condition it, and put it back in the twist, and then get out the shower and either do something like this, something quick and simple, or either just retwist it a little bit neater and style it in the twist some kind of way. So that's what I've been pretty much doing for the most part. And as far as products, I always normally use Shea Moisture products, the Curly Hansen Smoothie, and I use their shampoo and their restorative conditioner, and Kinky Curly Leave-In is what I use a lot. But lately I've been kind of going the cheap route and using the Aussie products, Aussie Moist products. I really like them. They, you know, they're pretty good. You know, of course, they have whatever, they're not all natural and all that business, all that jazz. But as I grow into this natural journey, I kind of venture away from some of that stuff. Like, you know, I can't use products with silicone. I can't use products. At first I was hardcore with that, like, oh no, it has to be all natural or mostly natural, and you know, as far as products, and you know, I was just really diligent. And as I grow and as life goes on and as children, you know, add on and all that business, you kind of get away from that. So I've gotten away from using all natural so much, and I still love, don't get me wrong, still love Shea Moisture products, but and even though they're on the cheaper end of the natural products, you know, $10 per product, once you start adding those products up, once I get the curl enhancing smoothie, the conditioner, the leave-in, the this, the that, you know, the $10 start adding up, and you're looking at $30-$40 by the time you're done. So I've been using the Aussie Moist, and it's been fine. I haven't really seen any problems with it thus far. I use the Aussie Moist conditioner, and they have like a 3-minute deep conditioner. I forget exactly what it's called, some kind of 3-minute constructive something or another deep conditioner, and I've been using those two as far as conditioner goes. I've still been using the Shea Moisture for shampoo when I do shampoo instead of co-washing, and it's been fine. Hair's still been doing what it do. And I'm just kind of learning that, you know, because in the whole natural world, we try to figure out, like, the $1 million question is hair growth, is it mostly genetic? Is it mostly the, you know, the techniques that you use, the care, the products? What is it? And to be quite honest, I have to say that I'm learning that a lot of it, for me at least, what I'm learning, a lot of it, I think a lot of it is genetic, because, you know, and of course, good hair care definitely contributes to retention, but for the most part, as far as the growth that I see, it remains pretty consistent when I'm being very diligent with my hair, and when I'm strict with the regimen. It's pretty consistent still as far as the growth, to when I'm lazy and very lackluster and just not doing right by my hair. The growth, I'm gonna have to say, is pretty consistent either way. Now, what I will say in terms of the hair care, when you have a good regimen and you're really doing what you should be doing for your hair, the difference that I have noticed is I had less, like, single strand knots, and you know, maybe, you know, less tangles and things like that. Now that would be the difference, I would say. So the condition of the hair maybe not as good as it was when I was more diligent, but also back then I didn't have as much hair, so it's just like a kind of, you know, hard to figure out what's what with it, because, you know, is it the fact, am I getting more single strand knots and more tangles and things because I have more hair, or is it because I'm just not caring for my hair the same way I used to? I'm not as diligent about the care of my hair and the products that I use and all that stuff, or is it a combination of it all? Who knows? I don't know, guys. So yeah, $1 million question, is it genetics or not? But I do think that genetics does have a lot to do with it, because, you know, before I just didn't know. When I first started the journey, I just didn't know. But just seeing the both sides of the spectrum, when I'm really good with my hair and when I'm not good with my hair, it's still pretty much, it does what it does, is what I'm learning. But not to say I don't have good hair care practices, like I said, the condition of the hair is better, you know, when, of course, when you're caring for it properly. But yeah, so I don't know. But so yeah, I know I'm kind of all over the place with this video, but that's just because, like I said, I don't really have a strict regimen anymore. It's just pretty much getting where when it happens, and when I'm doing that, I'm trying to do something quick. So yeah. In terms of a regimen, I know this is not much help to you all that's trying to get your regimens down and all of that, but you know, I just have to just keep it real. Whatever growth that you see here is just, it's not solely due to my efforts. It's not solely due to, like, my hard work and my efforts and my strict regimens and my products that I'm using. It just is what it is, y'all. So yeah, that's what it is with the hair. Like I said, I know this probably didn't help those that are trying to get your regimen down packed, but That's it. That's all I got. And he's right on cue. So he's getting agitated. I have to go back there and check on him. So that's about it.